He's known for his images. He will be adding some words. Some of them will be real. Most of them will not be.
I was thinking about the other day. I feel like if an alien came on Earth and I had a conversation with me, if he had a conversation with me, I think we would both be confused.
Yeah, the alien would leave with less information than he arrived. Speaking of less information than they arrived, Alex the intern's also here. He's going to be joining us for this draft spectacular. And finally, the man who gave himself the first overall pick. I like it, though, because it's pretty much the only pick
suspect.
Sure is going to happen tomorrow or today, because you're listening to this on draft day, perhaps. Either way, time travel is confusing. John is less confusing, and he's here to keep us on track, as well as Eagle, who is producing the show. How's it going, John?
Not bad. I mean, if I was going to set this up, I'm obviously going to rig it to get first overall. So
naturally. Yeah. I like it though, because it's like John, do this extra work, and then you give yourself a little treat, and we're like, we can't complain because you did the extra work.
I love how John's like, okay, Terry and Alex, you guys got to pick who you want. Alex, like, I'll take San Francisco. I'll take the easiest fucking pick.
The easiest possible one.
Yeah.
John, I kind of feel like your glasses are fake, number one.
They do look yes.
And I feel like you're pretending that you're in the dark, but you're really not in the dark, so it's confusing all of us.
So where I am, what is that? Oh, the sun is setting right behind me, so you can't see anything. Oh. If I have the shades open, that's
Dude,
one.
Look at you, Mr. Spoiled with the sun during the day.
With a mountain view.
Two, these glasses don't actually do anything.
Banging every morning in my alley.
Sorry?
I literally watch two squirrels banging every morning in my alley. This guy has a mountain view of fucking Whistler or wherever the fuck he is.
That's pretty good.
I love how you have a choice to watch it or not, and the fact that you choose it
it's like a car wreck.
How can I enjoy my coffee if I don't watch two squirrels banging? Explain to me how I can do this, and then I will do it.
It's a question.
Also, since when are you a Penguins fan?
Since always, and I've reminded you about 7 times since we've been started this podcast network.
It's a real thing. I've been monitoring it. I think I have a Google sheet that has the date.
He loves Mario Lemieux.
Yeah, that's all it is. I can't even name a single Penguins player right now, but yeah.
I'm a big fan of John Marino, like legit big fan of John Marino. Like, I like the number, just his whole
big
thing.
Big dick, bro.
I mean, maybe we don't know. We haven't seen the dickness yet. It's coming though. It's coming.
So this is the mock draft. We're going to go through all the teams, make the selection as though we were that team, give a little bit of analysis. Some of it will be accurate. Most of it will be wrong. And that's what draft analysis is. So also, with that, the first overall pick in the 2021 draft goes to John, representing my favorite and the worst city in America, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Thank you, Commissioner Peeze. I don't think we need to spend much time on this. It's going to be Trevor Lawrence. The Jacksonville Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence from University of Clemson. It's a no-brainer. I think everyone knows we're going there. The draft doesn't start until San Fran gets up there, so might as well just stick to status quo and get the franchise QB down in Jacksonville.
This is where you made your mistake. You said University of Clemson. It's Clemson University. If you're gonna fucking say it, you got to say it properly.
Fair.
Second is how much of an impact did his hair have on you selecting him first overall?
Well, the haircut ruined me, so I need to pick based on hair now. I miss it, so.
Makes sense.
Yeah, oh, it's true. You had the salad also, and you got rid of it.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you cut the salad?
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it!
I've got it in a plastic bag. So I'm donating it to make a wig.
Who's on?
How worried are you that he's too tall, John?
Because you don't want to be able to see over your O-line, so it is an issue.
Because you got to pray.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you don't chuck and pray, what are you doing?
What are we? Without faith, what are we? So
exactly.
Faith, what are we? That's a good point. Who's on the clock?
I'm on the clock. Commissioner Peeze, also the New York Jets. In a terrifying world where the Jets are the shadow commissioner of the NFL, the New York Jets will select with the second overall pick the quarterback who is least likely to succeed because they're choosing him. So if it was Trevor Lawrence, if he was available, Trevor Lawrence would not succeed. Instead, it will be Zach Wilson of BYU.
See, this is where you made your mistake.
Okay.
You should have traded this pick for Trevor Lawrence because you technically didn't draft Trevor Lawrence.
That's a good point.
So if you're a Jets guy, you should select a guy and then trade him away. Or at least trade for the guy that was selected right before
Zach Wilson's life. So like now I feel responsible for him, right? So
Yeah.
like he's like a child. He's like my child. And I like the bit of analysis that I read about him like 3 months ago that said he's like Pat Mahomes without a strong arm, which I was like, so then he's not like Pat Mahomes. Perfect. I like him. Give me Zach Wilson, BYU.
I mean,
on the clock now, the useless pick that my beloved Miami Dolphins traded they acquired from Houston and then traded to the San Francisco 49ers. It's going to be a useless pick because the Dolphins are needed, obviously. And it goes to Alex the Intern, drafting for the San Francisco 49ers.
Thank you, Peeze. With the third pick in the 2021 draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Kyle Pitts, Florida.
Legit disagrees with me on Twitter. Okay, I post this on Twitter. The kid legit disagrees with me. He says that I'm wrong. Then we do a mock draft, and he does exactly what I say. Exactly what I say.
Yeah.
You know what I did? It's for you.
Thanks,
I did it for you.
I appreciate it.
You know,
It's not a bad pick.
We said it last show. Last time we've seen two tight ends, with this level of athleticism, in Kyle Pitts and George Kittle, it was a killer situation out in New England. Murderous.
They murdered. I absolutely murdered. Yeah, about 69 times.
Yeah.
But legit, Kyle Pitts like the best athlete in the draft, though. Like he could have gone anywhere, and everybody would have been like, all right, it's okay. If Jacksonville
He's a freak. He's a freak.
If Jacksonville took him because Gainesville, all that shit, it would have been like, okay, that's fine. Like they would have been okay with it. They drafted a tight end first overall.
I wonder when the last time that either a tight end or a wide receiver, probably never tight end, but when was the last time a wide receiver was taken first overall? I can't even remember.
Was Julio Jones first overall pick?
Was it Julio Jones?
I feel like Julio Jones is the first overall pick.
Eagle, this is where you come in with knowledge.
Eagle's doing other shit right now, so I don't know if Eagle...
This is where John comes in, actually. He's our factual expert here. So
yeah, John's got to be the guy. Since he made
in
the
meantime,
list,
Duke, you were representing the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons we just mentioned as having drafted Julio Jones in the past. Who do you think they will draft in 2021?
Okay, number one question I have to ask is, can I trade with myself right now?
Yeah, actually, you can. Go ahead.
I can trade with myself because that is completely unrealistic. I feel like it's unfair because, I'll just say if I was to trade with myself, I would obviously trade with the Raiders, and I would pick up Jamar. I would pick up Jamar Chase, but I won't do that because that's unfair. So I'm going to stick with the Falcons. The Falcons, as the representative of the Atlanta Falcons, I'm proud to select Justin Fields. The next superstar quarterback. Every other quarterback in this draft is a bust, and I have no facts whatsoever to provide you with, other than the word bust.
All right, I'll take it.
I do like that when I eventually get to go back to Atlanta, which has become sort of a second home, I'll get to see another great quarterback. So thank you, Duke. That's all the analysis we need is that you made me happy. You made me get to watch a quarterback I like. So
we should have just given Peeze all of the Georgia guys.
If it's about making Peeze happy, I want to go back to what I said. I'm just going to trade out in the position.
See, the thing about Justin Fields is that I think he's going to be fine. He'll be a fine quarterback. Nothing wrong with the guy. But I just don't see him being like people are going to hate on him for his entire career. Like he's never going to be good enough. That's the fact.
I was talking about this with a friend of the show, Mo Khan, today, and I said every year the draft coverage convinces us there's 2 or 3 potentially generational quarterbacks, but really you only get 2 or 3 a decade. So
yeah,
there's more of a chance that they'll be okay or bad than they'll be legendary.
Look at Goff and Wentz. They're both non-generational quarterbacks. Like how many generational quarterbacks are actually in the league right now? I'd say Kyler.
Maybe. We don't even know. Maybe. I'd say Mahomes and Brady.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Okay. That's about it.
Matt Ryan had a great career. Had past
But
tense.
still not generational. So again,
Russell
over 2
Wilson.
decades, 3 guys. Now with that, Alex is back on the clock with the Cincinnati Bengals pick.
Shitty.
We'll get
All
him.
right. So since the Cincinnati Bengals QB Joe Burrow fucked up his leg last season, I'm gonna get him some protection, just like a condom. So I'm selecting Penei Sewell. That's his. I'm not sure if that's his name.
Penei Sewell, yeah.
Yeah, Penei
Pretty
Sewell
good.
from Oregon.
I think you mispronounced condom more than you mispronounced Penny Sewell.
Yeah.
That's too.
No, I said condom.
We did
I
all
feel like it's
watch.
not
Joe Burrow suffer from knee explosion last year.
Yeah.
So protecting him is a good idea. Although that's who I hope will fall to my beloved Miami Dolphins tomorrow. But we'll see. That said, much like the Jets can't draft a quarterback, the Dolphins can't draft anyone who can block. So I think I only get 60 seconds for my pick, so I want all of you to yell draft yell trade offers to me immediately on 3.
Okay, I'll give
1,
you-
2, 3 trade offers.
I'll give you the Cowboys, the Giants, and the Eagles first round pick, which is back to back for this pick ready.
I do like the idea of being able to trade 1 pick to 3 teams. I think it's the perfect amount of chaos, but instead, I think I will go Jamar Chase. Wide receiver, because the Dolphins' number 2 wide receiver is 5'6", who is only slightly taller than Eagle.
I love how you took a trade request. You took a trade request from one person. You didn't even ask around. I was going to offer you some.
Only one person
I was
yelled
going
at
to give
me.
you some mozzarella sticks and a 6-pack of beer, but I guess you're going to go with that.
Had I
the
known
match and
that, I
everything.
would have taken Jamar Chase.
Also, Peeze, you said that this is who do we think you guys do? Who do we think the Falcons are going to take?
Mhm.
Isn't this the actual draft? Like, aren't the scouts watching us right now? They're like, yeah, we need 5 jabronis from Montreal to tell us what to do.
Yeah,
There you go.
The thing is, they have all these advanced analytics, and then they're like, wait, we're being a bunch of nerds. Let's go out and watch this podcast from Montreal because these guys know what's up.
Absolutely.
I heard there's this
Absolutely.
live show. Let me go watch it. I need more information on Jamar Chase.
Well, but you know what? As much as we're providing information about Jamar Chase, Terry, why don't you give us information about our new sponsor, Hot Streak?
Probably best thing I've ever done in my life. So a Hot Streak Fantasy is the best in-play fantasy you can play. So it's basketball right now. It's just NBA, and you're basically gambling every 180 seconds. So you bet $5 to $10 maximum. You pick 2 to 3 players. So you can pick Doncic getting over under 0.5 assists for whatever the odds are, including LaMelo Ball scoring over 0.5 points in the next 180 seconds. And whatever odds there, you win money. I'm up big time on this one. And it's great. And as soon as you register, because we referred you, as soon as you register, they match your bonus. So you can get a bonus for the same amount that you registered to. So go check it out. It's Hot Streak Fantasy. It's in the App Store. Honestly, it's the best in play. I've been doing in play for years, and this is the best thing that I've ever played. And they're awesome. They're awesome.
On the clock now is John representing the Detroit Lions. The new less haired John representing Detroit Lions. Who do you pick?
All right, so for this one, I had to dig deep. I pulled up my measuring tape, and I took every single possible draft prospect, and I measured their kneecaps for both girth and size.
Smart.
I had to get the structural foundation accurate. And with that being said, I don't think the Lions probably expected this guy to drop. But I think that given the situation they're in, they're probably going to take Trey Lance. If you have the opportunity to get a franchise QB, you go for it. So if he's still on the board, I think that they take Trey Lance.
Yeah,
Trey Lance,
fancy pants. I like it.
License.
I do like the idea of going by kneecap size because you know what kneecaps are very important to Coach Campbell, right? So
Exactly.
Getting that down right is really how you build your franchise. The knee is the foundation to the leg. It's the foundation to a Campbell franchise as well. Duke, you are representing the Carolina Panthers.
I am. So can you guys filibuster for 5 seconds?
Oh,
So-
we can filibuster like you can't imagine. Well, let's do a recap. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars who drafted Trevor Lawrence. The Jets picking the quarterback who's now destined to fail in Zach Wilson. Kyle Pitts to become the second tight end in San Francisco. Justin Fields forever, drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. Penny Sewell to protect Joe Burrow from a second knee explosion in Cincinnati. The Dolphins select Jamar Chase because Tua was throwing to 0 people last year. And Trey Lance is now the starting quarterback for the Detroit Lions.
So what do the Lions do with Goff now?
You kind of figure that they would let Trey Lance develop for a year.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do that, like if they're going to do it properly, it's not the worst strategy to go by. And they're not going to be good this year. So do you want to take a chance at not getting a QB next year? If one falls into your lap, why not take it?
And Goff, I mean, like if you're on the bench, just take out your phone, get out the Hot Streak app, maybe make some in-game bets. See how it goes. It's only basketball, so you're allowed.
All right, boys, pick is in.
All right, what do you got?
Well, hold up. The card's gonna go to the podium. They got to get it ready.
Yeah, it's there. We got it. You emailed it. We're good.
All right. So, super boring pick. I'm gonna go with Roshan Slater from Northwestern. This is the same pick that both John and my father picked. I was trying really hard to not select the same person, but it turns out the Carolina Panthers have the worst offensive line in the NFL. So, congratulations, Roshan Slater. I'll give you 5 pogos to start your career.
Duke, I got bad news for you. I drafted Roshan Slater in Madden. He never developed a superstar trait. So maybe he's just going to be okay.
I mean, history has proven that if you don't perform well in Madden, I mean, how much of a career can you actually have?
Probably none. Probably none at all.
That's why all these players want good Madden ratings, because it translates to a good professional career.
Yeah, because like that, the Madden rating sets their actual life ability. It's a little known fact. So what happened is once they've risen all the 5G towers all over the city, what that actually does is transmits Madden technology into wide receivers.
What would Alex the Intern's rating be if we put him on Madden right now?
7.
7 what? Awareness?
Totally.
No, just overall. 7 overall.
Yeah.
What do you mean 7 overall?
No, I meant as a player because I would smoke you by 60 points. 60 points. But
Peeze is the worst. Peeze is the absolute worst person to ever play Madden against.
That's not true.
Drags the clock.
You guys have played me in Madden.
I've smoked in Madden a few times.
That's my point. Yeah, at least Peeze is fun to play against.
No, it's fun to play against you because I just get the win. Against Peeze, it's the worst because he's good, but he also drags out the clock. So I only get like 3 drives all game.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's you better have just turned the TV off because it's more entertaining than playing against me. Exactly. But you do the same thing when you watch the Denver Broncos and they're on the clock, as represented by the biggest Bronco hater right now, Duke.
Oh, absolutely. I would absolutely love nothing more than to draft a kicker in this position or a punter. But again, guys, this is all about fairness. This is all about, equality.
Scouts are watching.
This is all about, I just want to represent the Broncos properly. So in this situation, I'm proud to announce that the Denver Broncos are going to select Patrick Surtain out of Alabama. Perfect replacement for their defense in general. They absolutely need some help in the secondary, and there's no better cornerback in the draft at this moment other than Patrick Surtain. So congratulations, Patrick Surtain. Unlike Roshan Slater, you will get 4 pogos as a starting salary.
So you just stole Terry's pick.
Yeah, actually, you did. Okay. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You legit just took my pick for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Well, look, I like Pat Surtain, but I don't know if I'm looking at it with like Zach Thomas era rose-colored glasses because I loved his dad. Although I gotta say, I think you're pronouncing your own name wrong. It's Surtain. Surtain.
No, it's not. It's absolutely Surtain. I've heard this argument before. It's absolutely
Surtain. It's Surtain.
Well, okay, but you call Brett Favre. Do you say that? Do you say his name that
every
way?
Single time.
Yeah.
Every time I watch Wrangler.
Duke, you gotta say it properly. It's Favre. You gotta put a little oomph on the E. Yeah.
Accent aigu.
It's true. Terry, your Dallas Cowboys are up.
So I was actually going to go Patrick Surtain. So just in typical Cowboy fashion, don't trade up on time. You can't get the player you want. The thing is that the Cowboys, we for years, and I'm saying we because I'm part of the organization.
Right now, exactly.
For years, we haven't addressed the DBs, and it's been a fucking mess. We haven't drafted a DB in the first round since that doofus from LSU, Maurice Claiborne. Okay, and it's always been the problem. It's always been like they need a safety, they need a cornerback. It's always been the problem. So I was going to go Patrick Surtain, but instead I'm going to go with Caleb Farley. I know he's had back problems. He's had back surgery, but Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech, 6'2", 200 pounds, played high school quarterback. Maybe he can fill in for Dak Prescott once, and maybe when Dak Prescott breaks his leg again. I'm high on Caleb Farley. I think he's the number one ranked guy, but people are skeptical about him. But he's a beast. He's a big boy, and I think he would do great in the NFC East, which is the worst division in the history of sports.
To be fair, Terry, not to be fair, but rather, do you remember the time that the Cowboys trotted out the corpse of Terence Newman for, I want to say, 7 years while he was still a zombie?
Terence Newman was actually decent back then because they had that was like the last time where the Cowboys had like a really good secondary where they had Roy Williams, they had a bunch of guys, and Terence Newman was a very reliable defender. We haven't had that since. We had some flashes of Chidobe Awuzie. He's gone. We had Byron Jones. He took the money in Miami. So I mean, the Cowboys have just lost good DBs year after year.
Terry, you got to make my dad proud. Now you're picking on behalf of the New York Giants, the New York Football Giants, even though there's no other Giants. So pick for them.
The New York Giants. So that's the thing is I had the New York Giants, the Cowboys, and the Eagles, and they all need cornerbacks. But I'm not going to do that.
Well, two off the board right now, so.
Exactly. So I can't do that right now because two of the guys I had for the Giants going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go receiver because they're desperate for receivers. You can't have Evan Ingram as your number one target. Golden Tate, Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard, what the fuck? Those are all number 3 receivers on any other roster. So, has Jalen Waddell been taken?
Nope.
He is not.
No.
Sorry, a couple of receivers have been taken. The only receiver has been taken of Jamar Chase, and I think that's the only one.
That's the only one. So I'm going Jalen Waddell of University of Alabama. The only reason why Devante Smith won the Heisman Trophy is because Jalen Waddell wasn't there. If Jalen Waddell was there, he would have been the number one receiver in the country. Okay, the guy is unbelievable. So I'm going Jalen Waddell. He was injured last year. 5'10", 190 pounds, possession guy. He's deep. He can make every single catch. He runs every single route perfectly. I'm a huge fan, and I hope that he sucks for the Giants while I'm a Cowboys fan.
To your point about Evan Ingram, Terry. A little known fact is they actually used Evan Ingram's blood to make the COVID vaccine because he couldn't catch anything, COVID included. Terry, you're up for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm up for the Philadelphia Eagles. So this is the thing about the Eagles is that they need a cornerback as well. They need DBs.
And a coach.
They need linebackers. They need receivers. I was thinking about going.
The coach just needs a book. I think he just needs to read a single book in his life.
So Nick Sirianni's a good guy, good boy. He's a good guy from Philly. I'm a big fan. I think that he's misunderstood in a lot of ways because we don't understand what he means. That's what I mean by he's misunderstood. We don't understand a fucking thing he says. So he's gonna go cornerback on this one. He's gonna be like, wait. If all these cornerbacks are gone, I think we need to take one just in case we don't get the good value. So
all right, so wait. Before you go, with the 12th pick in the 2021 draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select rock, paper, scissors.
J.C. Horn.
Rock, paper, scissors, Horn.
So J.C. Horn, Joe Horn's son. This is Nick Sirianni's logic. So Nick Sirianni's like, listen, he's a big corner. He's a big guy. He's got good hands. He's quicker than fast. That's a Mike Mayockism right there. He's quicker than fast, and he developed under a receiver, so he knows how to defend against pro routes. That's why Nick Sirianni drafted J.C. Horn, strictly because his father played in the NFL.
All right, I like it.
Well, that fucks me over. God damn it! I was
now on the clock for the LA Chargers.
I was going to totally say it was a reach, but at this point, I gotta go. I absolutely have to go offensive line in this situation. I know it's not necessarily a glorious pick, and I know that the Chargers don't necessarily have a terrible offensive line, but I've watched enough Chargers games last season to just show me that if they don't address the offensive line at all, Justin Herbert's not going to last very long. So without any more delay, the LA Chargers are going to select Christian Darrisaw from Virginia Tech, 6'5", 314, maybe a little slim. Got to put a couple of cheeseburgers in there, but I will give you 3 pogos as a starting salary on my team, babe.
3 pogos. Okay, so a pogo down. A pogo down.
Okay, but I want 2 hot dogs and a poutine from Chez Ma Tante, though.
Yeah. Don't we all, man? Don't we all?
You know what? Fuck, I haven't seen Chez Ma Tante on Uber Eats in a while. Is it closed?
No, it's not. You just have to look it up. I think it's because they put the most popular ones up there.
And I also I've sworn off poutines for a long time. So,
Duke, you have Christian Darrisaw?
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Okay. Added to the list here. Up next is John. John, you are drafting on behalf of your Minnesota Vikings. And you also added Duke's pick for me. Thank you very much.
I got you. So I will say I see 3 possible scenarios for the Vikings. I think that their primary need, or that what they want to go for first, is to get an edge rusher to complement Danielle Hunter. He's not happy. I don't blame him. He had the opportunity, or he missed most of last year, so we didn't get to play with, I'm blanking on the name, but Alex can help me. The edge rusher that we ended up trading to Baltimore.
And Ngakwe.
So he missed out on playing with him, so I can see the Vikings using this pick to make him happy. But the guy I think they're looking at is Azeez Ojulari. I hope I pronounced that properly. But
yeah,
if they see an opportunity to trade down to get picks and still draft Azeez, I think they absolutely take it. That's Spielman's MO. He loves to trade back. But in light of this, and I'm not going to trade with myself because I think the team that they're possibly targeting to trade with is the Tennessee Titans, who would trade up to get Devante Smith. But in the spirit of this, I'm going to make a pick at 14, and I'm going to take Vera. What was it?
Sarah.
Vera Tucker. Sarah? No, Vera. Sorry. He's got 3 names.
It's Elijah Vera Tucker, bro. Come on.
Elijah Vera Tucker, yeah.
Elijah Vera Tucker. Thank you, Duke.
The only reason why Duke
Vera Tucker off the board, and that's probably outside of Trevor Lawrence, which John also picked, is likely the only picks we'll get right today. And that's Elijah Vera Tucker going to the Minnesota Vikings. I am now on the board with the New England Patriots. Guys, we saw last season. There was a complete lack of explosiveness on the offense. We don't know if they are sold on the quarterback position. Belichick mumbled something. No one understood what that was. So with that, you got to look quarterback, you got to look wide receiver, but then go ahead and draft Micah Parsons from Penn State, linebacker, because that's what the Patriots do. If they don't trade down, they just draft defensive positions highly.
It's just a revolving door of linebackers. So what we saw last year was, what's his name? Hightower wasn't there, so and it showed. It showed he took off because of COVID reasons. So it showed that they needed a linebacker bad. And Micah Parsons is the number 1 ranked linebacker in the draft, so it's a nice pick.
I like him.
Sure.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, but fuck the Pats, right? So
exactly.
Just in general.
Now I'm seeing the 6.89 rating, and I want to flip the table because it just means that he'll end up going to New England and be rated a 12 by the time it's over. Terry, Arizona Cardinals 16. What do you got?
So the Cardinals, signing J.J. Watt, losing Pat Peterson. They released Pat Peterson this year. I was going to go DB as well for them. I was looking at a guy like Tyson Campbell out of Georgia. Peeze, I know you like him a little bit, but I think they're going to address the pass rush issue in here with the edge rush. I think that the Cardinals are like, we got J.J. Watt. He's good for like Instagram and all that stuff. He's good. He's going to put some asses in the seats. Chandler Jones needs a little bit of a break. So how about we go to Penn State, second Penn State player back-to-back drafted. I'm going Jason Owe, 6'5", 257 pounds. He ran a 4.37, boys. 4.37 at 6'5", 257 pounds. You can't even make those numbers up.
Well, it feels like this year everyone's kind of running 4.3, 4.4. Is it just lots of roids?
Or is it that they're using hand clocks and they're not at the actual combine at Lucas Oil Stadium and they're just doing pro days?
So Penn State also did this thing years and years. It's an actual story that they were kind of famous for. They had a training facility that was on a slight decline, and they would run their 40-yard times on a slight decline, so everyone would be like slightly faster.
No way.
Yeah. It's an actual story. You can actually look it up. I'm certain they're no longer allowed to do that. I'm certain they've had to change it, but I'm sure teams do find ways to cheat the combine and the pro day workouts and all that. So, with that said, Duke, you're on the clock for your beloved Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, so this is a pretty of a tricky one because a couple of guys came off the board that would have been ideal for the Las Vegas Raiders. Obviously, had a Caleb Fairley or a J.C. Horn. If they would have been available, even in Pat Surtain, for example, they would have absolutely jumped on that. And you know what? Micah Parsons is in every single mock draft that you see. The Raiders either select Micah Parsons or they take Jeremy Owusu-Komora. But I've known the Raiders a long time, and the fact is they never take linebackers in the first round of the draft for whatever reason, even if it's always every single year the biggest possible weakness on the team. However, I think in this situation, everyone else is off the board. They have to go offensive line. There's just too much turnover on that line, and they got to start bringing in some young blood. So I'm thinking this situation, it's gonna be a reach just like every other Raiders draft pick. So I'm gonna say Tevin Jenkins, Oklahoma State, who would be a second round draft pick, but at this point, what else are you gonna do? So two pogos as a salary for a season.
Man, it's not a lot of faith in your own team's picks, huh?
6'6", 320 though. I mean, he might be good, but I mean, I have never watched a single Oklahoma State game ever in my life. I don't think.
He blocked for Chuba Hubbard.
Okay, that always gives me some hope.
Who the hell is Chuba Hubbard?
The best Canadian prospect, I think, in the NCAA right now.
I have no idea, man.
Yeah, he's a 5-star recruit.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. I have no idea his name.
So up next, I have a feeling. So I'm drafting on behalf of the Miami Dolphins, the 18th pick of the draft. I would have a feeling that if the draft went this way, the Dolphins may trade down, or trade down to draft offensive line or draft offensive line. But I just want to take a moment to remind everyone that Myles Gaskin was a starting running back last season, and the season before, Ryan Fitzpatrick was the team's leading rusher. So with that, I think the Dolphins should pick the most explosive player in the draft, who is Travis Etienne. I know he's the second-ranked running back, but I think he fits with what the Dolphins would like to do on offense. So I go Travis Etienne here.
That's a solid pick at that spot, by the way. I know that obviously running backs, durability, all of those questions, but Travis Etienne was absolutely stunning last year.
He's so fast. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. And it's a team that's going to use multiple running backs anyway, so I think it fits.
Just a hot streak fantasy break. I'm going to make a pregame right now. Ben Simmons over 12.5 points. Russell Westbrook over 22.5 points for the night, boys. What do you think about that?
That seems like a slam dunk.
Yeah.
I like that one. Especially that Russell Westbrook had some comments earlier today about people disrespecting the triple doubles and thinking that, he's made it too boring kind of thing. And so, yeah, he seems to be playing with a chip on his shoulder. So I like it. Terry, you're drafting on behalf of the soon-to-be Washington Primes.
You think so?
Oh, come on, Peeze.
I do.
Absolutely.
So this is the thing about Washington.
Rich people buy stuff. It's a thing they do.
So this is the thing about Washington. Do they go quarterback? Mac Jones is still on the board. I mean, they need it. Alex Smith, done. Tyler Heineke, the guy they drafted, Haskins, a couple years ago. I mean, where the hell is he right now? Carolina?
He's probably at the strip club.
Yeah,
I think he's in Carolina or at the strip club. The Carolina.
Mac Jones is the pick here, man.
He's getting
Mac Jones should be the pick, but if you were smart, you would have drafted somebody that was already drafted earlier, Christian Darrisaw, who I had on my list. But I will go with Mac Jones right now. If it wasn't Christian Darrisaw, it would have been Mac Jones. It's the only pick they can make. I was gonna go for the Washington Primes. I would have said you go offensive line first. You fix the issues. You get him used to it, so you can protect the next guy you get next year, and that's how it works.
John, how many times do you see the acronym while watching Red Zone? You see WFT, and your mind does a thing where it automatically converts it to WTF.
WTF, 100%. Everybody's
every time.
When abbreviations came into play and people started using LOL and all that shit, people became dyslexic. Everybody became dyslexic. Yeah,
100%. We all got worse. Much like the Chicago Bears have throughout their history. And John, you're here to try and fix that. You're here to right all those wrongs.
No, I'm not.
Okay, you're not.
Absolutely not. I had Mac Jones penciled in. I didn't think that Terry was going to go with him for Washington, but I like the pick. Like, it's not bad.
I went off the board, John.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
So I'm actually, I'm siding with Will now, as much as I don't want to, because I don't want Chicago to get better. I'm going to take Rashad Bateman. Sorry, no. Oh, I fucked up. I meant Devante Smith.
Oh, Devante Smith's on the board.
Yeah, Rashad Bateman is who Will put, which really made me go wide receiver.
That's way too low, man.
No, he's gonna go way. He's gonna go way faster in the actual draft. Like, there's no way that he's gonna go faster.
I don't think that Devante Smith is like this guy that everybody thinks he is. I think he's gonna get popped once and he's done for the rest of his life. That guy is.
Why do you say that?
Because
this guy
looks like this.
Yeah, but
he's 6'1", 170 pounds, man.
But if you're 6'1" and a pro training staff can't add muscle to your frame, then just put roids into your body immediately.
No, that's the thing is you don't understand how physiology works here. Okay,
listen, I can see his arm length. 31, man. 31 and an 8.
He's a great receiver. He'd be the most outstanding player in the CFL. In the NFL, the guy's gonna do shit. I'm legit. I'm a strong believer in this. I don't think he's gonna have.
Guys, save this clip. Save this clip.
We're gonna post it.
I will say that
since I do all the clips, I'll clip this part and I'll post it.
We're going to burn you when he becomes the best of
how
the
many
draft.
Pogos?
In 3 years, we won't remember. We don't remember any Mike Williams that got drafted at USC. We won't remember.
Pogos. How many Pogos?
We're at one Pogo.
He weighs
as much as the negative.
Guys, he's 170 pounds. You know when the last time I weighed 170 pounds was? I was like 13.
To put it in perspective, I almost weigh 170 pounds.
Exactly.
Like, that's me. And I'm tiny. He's tall.
But you're not 6'1" and athletic.
That's even worse then. I have more like ground strength than he does. Yeah. I could topple him over.
I guarantee you, you don't have more any strength than anyone.
You aim for the legs and he falls down like a giant.
He's only 6'1".
He goes gonna bite your kneecap, man.
Okay, Terry, you're the Colts. What do you got? 21.
It's tough, man.
Because always looking for a bottom.
Because the Colts have a lot of needs, man, and quarterback is specifically one of them. I was thinking about not going Mac Jones, but then I was like, you know what, John's next, and I know he likes Mac Jones. So there's a lot of defensive ends that I wanted to draft in this. It's really deep for DBs and defensive ends this draft. It's unbelievable. The one guy that stuck out to me like a fucking sore thumb. He plays in Miami. His name is Jalen Phillips. I don't know if you guys are aware of Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips is 6'7" and like 300 pounds, and he runs like a 4.5. The guy's unbelievable, and he's a monster. He's an absolute monster, and I think that if the Colts pass up on him at this, if he falls to them right here, he's gone. He's gone. Big dick, big time.
Big dick, big time. I like
help
that.
Me out here, Terry. Who?
Jalen Phillips.
From where?
Jaelen, Miami, Florida.
Reach. University of Miami.
Are you sure he's available?
Yeah, he's definitely available.
Of course he's available.
He won't even be available after the second round.
Yeah, exactly. Jaelen.
I can't find him.
We got it.
You're on the same page that I was using.
That's true. We hope.
Yeah, I don't see him.
So
we were drafted by on that mock draft.
John,
Jalen Phillips.
John, you're representing the Tennessee Titans.
I am.
Oh, I found it. Okay.
So, like I said, possible trade up with the Vikings, and the guy that I mentioned for the Vikings would still be available. So the scenario kind of makes sense. I hope it happens, but we'll see. But I think that. Oh man, what am I going to do here? First possible option, they trade for Julio Jones. Just going to say that. I would do it if I were them. But if they do not go Julio Jones, I think that they do like. Well, they trade for Julio Jones is more what I meant. But if they don't, I think that they add to the defense, which is what they love to do. They always go for an edge rusher. So I'm going to put Azeez. I'm so bad at this name. Azeez Ojulari in this position here for the Tennessee Titans.
Not bad.
I thought you already took Ojulari.
No, I'm saying the Vikings are going to trade back to draft him in this position, but I still think that if Tennessee is drafting this position with the wide receivers off the board, they probably address the defensive side of the ball. And, the experiment last year with Clowney didn't work out, so maybe they look for a replacement for that on the defense.
With the 22 pick in the draft, us we're going to choose Ojulari.
So, Georgia's Azeez Ojulari going to the Tennessee Titans. And now I need someone to filibuster for me because that was going to be my pick.
Okay, so I've been talking about this a while. Pickles
sounds really important. Go with it.
And a grilled cheese. Pickles and the grilled cheese, boys.
Piccolo Grillo.
Pickle Grillo, baby.
Interesting.
Bagels and a grilled cheese?
No, pickle and the grilled cheese.
Oh yeah, it's a great idea.
But what you got to do is you got to put cheese on top, pickle in the middle, cheese after. I will say that it really depends. Like if you're gonna just get a regular pickle, you got to make sure that if you're gonna cut it, you don't make the slices too thick because there's too much juice that comes out. It messes up the whole sandwich.
Throw a little Mike's barbecue rub, dab it on top there. It gives a nice little punch.
So maybe even some truffle mustard.
Truffle mustard.
Some mustard in a grilled cheese. Give it some bite.
Absolutely.
The New York Jets.
They're stupid.
I think the New York Jets here they'll go for value, just to add to the defensive line. They do have a defensively minded coaches, and I think they go Christian Barmore of Alabama here.
So how many Bama guys have been taken so far? Both receivers.
So many. But
both
this draft
receivers
will
have
have
taken.
more Bama players than ever.
I feel like they're always
Certain.
a ton of Bama players though.
There's always like 3 in the first round.
Mac Jones, Devante Smith.
I'm surprised Najee Harris hasn't been taken yet, but I feel like that's an Alex pick. So let's
based on the fact that he already put it in the page, I believe that to be the case. But with the 24th pick in the draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select
Najee Harris.
Even though they
Alabama.
never running back in the first round, they
never
choose
choose
Harris.
a running back in the first round.
They never choose anything other than defense in the first round.
This is the year. This is the year they go with running back because
the year that the draft is full of a lot of defensive prospects is the year the Steelers don't take a defensive prospect. Is that your analysis?
Counterculture.
Let him explain.
So James Conner's done. I don't think they're going to continue with him. So I think they're going with Najee Harris.
Why wouldn't they continue with James Conner? He was injured last year and he had COVID.
He's
your fault for not getting COVID.
When he was playing, he wasn't getting the job done near the ends, and I think that's one of the main reasons why.
Well, he got injured like in week 5 and he didn't play the rest of the year.
But
I know this because I had him in 5 of my fantasy leagues.
That being said, I do have to say there's something to be said about. I know that they generally don't draft running backs, but Najee Harris is really good. So if they're looking for some kind of a weapon, like this would be the year to do it because they have a lot of defensive players. If anything, maybe they want to draft someone like a linebacker at that point. But all the best linebackers have been taken at this point. So
and also Mike Tomlin. Going for a running back is a little different because he just signed like a 3-year extension, Mike Tomlin. So he's like, my job is safe. Let me just continue doing exactly what I've been doing. Or he's thinking like Alex, outside the box, and he's like, let me just build a running game so Ben Roethlisberger doesn't have to throw 85 times a game anymore.
But then this is really Ben Roethlisberger if he's
exactly.
not throwing 85 times a
I
game.
mean, it's weird.
It's two. You need two things for Ben Roethlisberger: a walking boot and throwing in a necessary amount of times. I thought Brian McFadden was the last running back they drafted in the first round, but even that was a second-round pick. So I don't even know.
Rashad Mendenhall, no?
Oh, Rashad Mendenhall. That was it. That
was a nice pick.
I mean, okay, but he was fine. So anyway, that was like in 2006, 2008, around there.
Rashad Mendenhall came out with it was like a 1-2 punch running back situation. No, in Louisville, in Illinois, where he played.
I don't remember.
I'm looking it up. Don't worry. Keep going. I'll look it up.
In the meantime, however, John is drafting on behalf of the Jaguars again. This pick from the LA Rams.
So, Peeze, if it helps you, if it makes you feel better, you took my pick, so we got each other back there. So at that point, like, I think Armour is really the only like possible defensive tackle to go in the first round. So I don't think they're going to force a pick here. Instead. I think they're going to address protecting Trevor Lawrence, and they're going to go with Landon Dickerson.
Oh.
Injury prone.
I'm not going to pretend to be super well versed in the offensive lineman, but I know that he offers some flexibility to play multiple positions on the line. So I think that as a team that's rebuilding, you want to take a look at that and just kind of build from there and take the best available for what your team needs.
But do you feel like better that you can fake being well versed as a medical health expert or offensive line? Because injury prone is something usually only reserved for doctors to make that decision.
I'm going to plead
He's from Hickory, man. He's from Hickory, so he's got to be good.
Hickory smoked bacon, bro.
Cleveland Browns, actually, represented by Alex the Intern, select with a 20.
Hold on. Hickory, North Carolina is actually known more for furniture than they are known for Hickory smoked bacon. But we can continue.
Also, hickory wood to smoke, overrated.
Hickory wood, babe.
It's the worst wood. Worst wood to smoke. The Cleveland Browns, 26th pick, Alex the Intern. What do you got?
Well, fuck the Browns, but I think they're gonna pick Greg Newsome II.
That's actually a solid pick. He's a sick DB.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Straight out of Northwestern. I'm a big fan. And Northwestern.
So we know he's probably good at journalism also. So maybe he'll end up at Hot Sauce Sports.
Reach out now.
Hot Sauce Sports. Chicago.
And why are they going Greg Newsome? Any analysis? Just make it
riveting.
Yeah.
Talking about me? Am I supposed to get analysis?
No, not you. Him.
Okay.
They need some. I guess they need some DB help. So that's pretty much all I can think of, and also best available.
Is Greg Newsome best available?
You're still on the clock, Alex the Intern. You are representing your Baltimore Ravens with the 27th pick in the draft.
Well, the 27th pick in the 2021 draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Rashad Bateman, Minnesota.
That's a good one. You actually stole my pick.
The reason why I'm picking this is because Lamar is going to need a weapon, and Rashad Bateman is going to be that weapon.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of good defensive linemen up. Like Kwity Paye is still available. He would have fit in nice. Greg Rousseau is still available. He would have fit in nice.
Yeah, but the Ravens are picking again in 3 picks.
Oh, there you go. So Alex just told us everything.
Draft defense, boys.
I'm next.
Okay. And up next is Duke. Duke, you are picking for the New Orleans Saints.
Okay, so Rashad Bateman was originally what I was going to pick in this spot. Obviously, Randall Moore, who's still on the board, is definitely an option. But I just think that what fits better for their system, what fits better for their offense, is going to be Kadarius Toney out of Florida. This is a bit of a tricky one because there's two receivers I think the Saints are actively looking at, Kadarius Toney and also Terence Marshall Jr. But I still think that they can catch Terence Marshall in the second round. Maybe they trade up or something. But if they're going to choose between both, Kadarius Toney would be the guy. Now, question is, was a lot of the attention off of him because of Pitts getting the majority of the attention? Not really. Kadarius Toney did have 10 touchdowns last season, and he's been spectacular for the Gators. So that's my pick.
Well, but see, I think you're looking at it wrong, Duke. You gotta think, what if Jameis Winston starts? In which case, you need to give him linebackers because he's great at throwing to linebackers.
That's a good point.
Well, it's a good point. But in terms, I think the real question is how many pogos he gets. And right now we're at 0, but so he's gonna have to get 0 pogos at this point. I got no pogos left, man.
Okay, I think I'm gonna order some pogos tonight.
Too late. He was in the room too long. He's in the green room too long.
Too bad.
John, you're on the board. Tell us at 29 which backup quarterback the Green Bay Packers will select.
I'm actually going backup running back.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
I was going to do the nice thing and give Eagle a wide receiver, and then two
on.
got taken.
Please, for the love of God, give Aaron Rodgers a tool. Please.
I think the 2 that they would have targeted got taken ahead of him. But I've seen Green Bay do crazier things.
John?
I was going to put Tooney there.
Okay.
But yeah, good pick by Duke, so can't complain. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off base. I'm not even going to draft offense because fuck Aaron Rodgers.
There you go.
I'm going to go defense, and I'm going to take Kwity Paye.
Kwity Paye, you mean?
Paye, Jesus.
Paye.
Paye.
Kwity Paye. Matt, from Michigan, that guy.
I don't think he's going to slip this far, but
he's got a name where you would draft him in Madden, right? Like
exactly.
This guy where he sounds like a
exactly. Kwity Paye.
Draft Michael Smith to play linebacker because there's a million Michael Smiths. He can't be special.
Kwity Paye, fuck.
I hate you, John. I hate you, and so does the rest of the Packers organization for doing this to us.
I'm okay with
Aaron Rodgers.
Number 30.
I am on the board for the Buffalo Bills. The 2 running backs are gone. I think they're going to go with Alex Leatherwood of Alabama.
Leatherwood.
Solid pick.
They have a good quarterback who's mobile, Alex Leatherwood. He seems to be like a good athlete who can move around and on the offensive line, so why not?
He's also got the longest arms.
Nice. That's usually important.
And he moved from guard to tackle like last year, so he's very versatile. That's a really nice pick to slate in the draft.
Plus, if you can't see if you left something on top of your locker, he can give you a hand. No problem.
That's it. If the pogos are too high to reach, he can reach them. He can get the pogos up top.
Yeah. So Duke, maybe you do have more pogos. Can't find them. Alex Leatherwood, he'd be your guy.
Yeah.
Up next, drafting for the Baltimore Ravens on a draft pick that was initially from the Kansas City Chiefs. Alex, the intern, who do you draft?
The Baltimore Ravens now select Gregory Rousseau from Miami.
Unbelievable. I can't believe that you've stolen 3 of my picks so far. Driving me crazy. I'm going to need some time on the clock now. Alex, please filibuster.
So we'll do a quick recap to see where we're at.
Yeah. How many quarterbacks have been taken? Have all the quarterbacks ranked in the first round? Have we taken them all? Mac Jones, Fields, Lance, Wilson, Lawrence? They're all gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next QB technically is Kyle Trask.
Yeah.
To be taken.
I don't think he'll get taken in the second, maybe third.
I think we'll see something similar to last year where the top guys went all
Jake Fromm.
The top 12, and then we didn't see Jake Fromm taken until the third or fourth round. So let's do a quick recap. John, for the Jacksonville Jaguars, drafted Trevor Lawrence. I drafted the destined to fail Zach Wilson of the New York Jets. Alex, the intern, paired George Kittle with Kyle Pitts in San Francisco. Duke, for the Atlanta Falcons, drafted replacement quarterback Justin Fields, who will take the place of Matt Ryan. Alex, Penny Sewell, going to the Cincinnati Bengals. Peeze, drafting Jamar Chase for the Miami Dolphins. The greatest football team, only football team to ever go undefeated. John drafts Trey Lance on behalf of the Detroit Lions. The 8th pick going to the Carolina Panthers on behalf of Duke is Roshan Slater. Duke also drafted Pat Surtain II, going to Denver from Alabama. Terry got angry about that, and then basically he went after Caleb Fairley, totally on tilt for the Dallas Cowboys. Then he turned around and made a great pick for the New York Giants because he is slightly scared of pops, and he picked Jalen Waddle. J.C. Horn, he gets drafted by the Eagles because it's a name that their coach can pronounce.
He has a long horn.
One of the only ones that can be pronounced by the Eagles front office staff. Duke drafted Christian Darrisaw for the LA Chargers. John, for his beloved Minnesota Vikings, drafted Elijah Vera Tucker, although struggled with the name for reasons we don't understand. I drafted Micah Parsons on behalf of the New England Patriots, and he's definitely going to be the best player in the draft because that's what happens all the goddamn time. Terry drafted for the Arizona Cardinals, and he drafted Jason Owe. Duke drafted for his favorite Las Vegas franchise, the Las Vegas Raiders. He drafted... Sorry, my computer got stuck. I can't see the pick. If someone else can read it, that would be awesome.
Tevin Jenkins.
There we go. Tevin Jenkins. I drafted Travis Etienne for Miami Dolphins, who will obviously be the greatest running back of all time. Terry drafted
behind Larry Zonka
for the Washington Primes. John then drafted the undersized Chicago Bears future wide receiver Devante Smith, which, of course, made Terry very angry. The two will spar later tonight.
Shit.
Terry then drafted Jalen Phillips for the Indianapolis Colts. John then drafted Georgia Bulldog Azeez Ojulari for the Tennessee Titans. I had to pick again for the Jets, which of course made me cry on the inside. And I even gave them a decent player in Christian Barmore, who seems to be the best defensive tackle in the draft.
Picks in.
Alex the Intern drafted what is consensus the number one running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team that will never pick a running back in the first round. Najee Harris out of Alabama. John, the pick from the Rams to the Jaguars is Landon Dickerson at 25. 26 Cleveland Browns draft Greg Newsome II, followed by Rashad Bateman, drafted by the Baltimore Ravens at 27. Again, Alex the Intern making both picks. Duke drafted for the Saints, and with no one particular to throw to him, they got Kadarius Toney. John drafted Kwity Paye, great name for the Green Bay Packers. Rumors are he might play wide receiver because why not?
Why not?
I drafted Alex Leatherwood for the Buffalo Bills because I pretended like I knew anything about offensive line. Alex the Intern drafted Gregory Rousseau, who sounds like an adventurer from the 80s. He will be playing for the Baltimore Ravens. And now, on the clock, the Tampa Bay Bradeneers select...
Tampa Bay Bucks are going to select Asante Samuel Jr.
Oh,
that
wow.
Makes so old, by the way. So old.
Wow.
And to be honest,
Jr.
And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes earlier in the actual draft.
No, I mean, so. I don't think he's going first round,
but at the same time, I was thinking, like, I don't know if they would go receiver in this situation because they're pretty stacked in terms of the offense. Maybe they go running back, but at this point, a lot of there's 2-3 running backs that went before this pick. Offensive line, they're kind of stacked at that position. I mean, the thing about the Bucs is they've been pretty stacked in general. And that's the reason why they probably won a Super Bowl. I mean, they're a very complete team. So what they might do is bring on a guy that probably has a really good work ethic, a guy that's really that's pretty solid at his position and has, you know what, coming from the family that he has, you know, might be a solid pick. So I'm going to go with that. Asante Samuel Jr., last pick of the draft.
So guys, the guys left off in the first round. I mean, I think we're pretty like standard. All these guys will most likely get drafted in the first round, but guys that were left off are who? Like, no safeties were taken. Who's the number one safety? Is it Trevin Moehrig? I mean, who are we talking about here?
Well, safeties generally aren't valued super highly in a draft unless there's a guy who's considered to be like a potential generational talent. I was surprised that Creed Humphrey of Oklahoma didn't get drafted, given that center is a pretty important position, even if he might play behind someone who might be a guy who's a bit older, might get, you know, or someone who they have injury concerns. So kind of surprised he didn't come off the board.
So for the Steelers, I was gonna either draft him or Harris, but I took Harris.
Yeah.
Would
you talk? Yeah. Okay. I mean, there's also.
We're also football fans. We're more likely to draft what we perceive as impact positions than linemen, right? So like, we want to see our teams draft receivers and running backs and corners because those are the guys we can see make plays on the field. So I think generally mock drafts include more of those types of positions than teams will actually draft.
I remember one year I was so balls deep into the draft. Like I had bought like 3 magazines. This is like probably in 2009. I don't even know who was being drafted that year. And I predicted like the first 20 picks. And I thought I was like, Mel Kiper, move aside. Look who's here. Terry Tan.
Because you read what other people wrote. You thought you were
I just like calculated everybody's
things.
I remember my buddies, I was on my way to my buddy's house to watch the draft. This is back then when we used to get together and watch the draft. And I was texting him. I'm like, okay, he's going to get drafted here. He's going to get drafted here. And I'm a genius, boys. I'm just a genius.
That's I've never heard that before. That's not a real thing. If
Kyle Pitts goes to the fucking Niners, I'm a genius. I'm telling you now.
Thank you all for tuning in today, keeping us company while we get excited for the NFL draft. There will not be a Not Sauce for Work until the weekend because we want to react to the draft and, of course, laugh at how wrong we were. My favorite takes are the ones that go poorly, so I'm looking forward to that 100%. Thank you, Duke, for joining us. Terry as well. Alex, the intern.
No problem, bro.
And John joining us from afar. The Eagle keeping us under control, just like Aladdin's Jafar. So good work for you there. As for our sponsors, we want to thank Mike's Barbecue Rub and Hot Streak Sports. I've been hosting and entering stuff into the sheet, so I can't wait to unwind, watch some basketball, play some degenerate bets. It's going to be awesome. It's be a good time. For those of you who have not yet liked and subscribed, please do so. It saves me from sending people after you. Eagles, he's not very impressive. I'm telling you, he's a small guy. But rumors have it he has a lot of firearms, and he might take money from you if you don't subscribe. That's the way
Also,
it
I
goes.
go for the legs.
Yeah, go for sweep the legs, baby.
Kneecaps.
We've watched Cobra Kai. We know Dan Campbell's MO. The knees are weak. That's where you got to attack. So definitely, if you have not yet subscribed, please do so. And for those of you watching this tomorrow on draft day, we're happy to help you waste time at work while you're thinking of NFL football. Until then, thank you all for letting us be ourselves.
You've been listening to Hot Sauce Sports.
Ruined it.
My computer's frozen. I am going to shut it off.
Or no.
Do you hear me? Do you guys hear me?